session we'll see about adverse drug reactions. To give an overview of what are we going to see in this session, we'll see the WHO definition for adverse drug reaction. We'll see what are the types of adverse drug reaction, and we'll also see what should a practitioner do to when he encounters these type of reactions, or how to prevent that. So these are the three things which we will be saying in this session. Now let's see the WHO definition of adverse drug reactions. WHO has defined adverse drug reaction as a response to a drug which is noxious and unintended. It is noxious and unintended, which occurs at the normal dose used in humans. So it should occur in normal dose used in humans for prophylactic, diagnostic or therapy of a disease, or for manipulation of physiological actions. So this is the WHO definition. So I want to bring it to your highlight that there are two important points, that this is noxious and this is unintended, and it shall also occur in normal dose which is used for either prophylaxis or diagnosis or therapy. So please remember that this is the dose which is used for prophylaxis, diagnosis or therapy. So if some actions occur at doses which are at very high level above this, say for example toxic dose, it becomes toxicity. They are not adverse drug reactions. So this is the WHO definition for adverse drug reactions. Now let us see the types of adverse drug reactions. Now this classification is a very simple classification of adverse drug reactions, what is called as the ABCDEF classification or type of adverse drug reactions. So now the first type is called as type A reactions. So A stands for augmented. Now again the name is very self-explanatory. What the dose augments these reactions. So these are dose dependent. As the physician or the practitioner increases the dose, the adverse drug reaction also increases. They are directly related to the pharmacological actions. And now the classical example for this is, say for example, hypoglycemia caused by insulin. If you increase the dose of insulin, the hypoglycemia produced also increases. So this is dose related and it is related to the pharmacological action. Now what should a physician do? Or another classical example, bleeding caused by anticoagulants. Now what should a physician or a practitioner do when he encounters this type of reactions? The first thing is they have to reduce the dose, isn't it? Because these are dose related, so they have to reduce the dose. The second thing which they should consider is there any other drug, concomitantly administered drug, which has a similar action, so that these become augmented or increased. So concomitant drugs having same action. So if any such is present, then this has to be taken care of. So this is the action which they have to do to take care of these type A reactions. Now let's go to the second type. So now this is going to be type B reactions, isn't it? Right. So now So this is the second type of reaction, type B. So B stands for bizarre. Again, the name is very self-explanatory. Bizarre means strange, isn't it? So we don't know in which patient these will occur. So these are totally unpredictable, or their occurrence is very strange, and this is also not dose related. They can occur even with small dose, or they can occur with high dose also. Very classical examples of type B reactions are hypersensitivity reactions. Say for example to penicillin. Stevens-Johnson syndrome caused by anticonvulsants like phenytoin carbamazepine are also classical examples of type B reactions. Now what to do or how to take care of these reactions? Now the first action to be taken whenever a physician or practitioner encounters this reaction is that they should stop the drug. The second course of action, they should avoid this use of drug in future. Avoid the use of drug in the future. Another important instruction is that they should instruct the patient that he or she is allergic or hypersensitive to this drug, and they should ask them to report this to any physician or practitioner. They go for further advice for or treatment of any other disorder. So these are the three important things which a practitioner or a clinician should do when they encounter these type B reactions. Now let's see the third type of reaction. Again, it very logically goes as type C reactions. Now let's see what is this type C. Any guess what does C stand for? Now we are in the third type, type C. Yes, C for chronic. So again, the name is very self-explanatory. These type of adverse drug reactions take place with long-term use of this drug. Only on long-term use of this drug they take place. Very classical examples of these type of reaction: adrenal axis suppression with steroids. Another classical example seen with this type is, say for example, analgesic nephropathy. It's a very classical type C reaction, adverse drug reaction. Now, what should we do? What to do when these type of reactions are encountered? Now, the first principle which should be followed whenever we are using these types is that use the lowest possible dose for the shortest duration. Lowest dose for shortest duration. That's the first dictum which should be followed to reduce or prevent these type of reactions. Now, the second strategy which can be followed is like intermittent therapy, like alternate day therapy. Alternate day, you have heard of alternate day corticosteroid therapy. So alternate day therapy, alternate day statins therapy. And the third, some other strategy like megadose pulse therapy. Again seen with steroids. So megadose pulse therapy, alternate day therapy can be used to prevent the occurrence of type C reactions. So that's about what is type C, their example, and what to do. Now let's go to the next type, the type D, the fourth type, the type D reactions. Right. Now, the fourth type of reaction, the type D. D stands for delayed. Now, what is delayed? The occurrence of adverse drug reaction is delayed. This is different from chronic. So this is what is delayed. So there is a time lag for development of ADR. Classical examples of type D adverse drug reaction include teratogenicity, carcinogenicity. All these things have a time lag, isn't it? So the mother takes the drug during pregnancy and the manifestations will occur after the child is delivered. One more very classical example which is belongs to this delayed type reaction is that clear cell adenocarcinoma caused by use of diethylstilbestrol. Now, what happens when the use of this diethylstilbestrol? The mother consumes, this is an estrogen, mother consumes this diethylstilbestrol during her pregnancy, and when does this adverse effect occur? The adverse effect, like this clear cell adenocarcinoma of vagina, develops only if the child she delivers is a female, and that too when the child or the female child attains puberty. So such a long time lag is there from the exposure of the drug to the mother and the development of this adverse effect in the child. So because of this reason only this drug was withdrawn and this is no more in use. So this is a very classical example of type D or delayed reactions, adverse drug reactions. Now what to do, or what should a physician or practitioner do to avoid or prevent or reduce these adverse drug reactions? Now the first dictum is that use drugs only if it is absolutely indicated and necessary in patient groups, like say for example in pregnancy. So use only if it is absolutely indicated in pregnancy and in elderly. So that is one of the important ways in which these adverse effects can be reduced. Now let's go to the fifth type. So the next alphabet is E. So that is, the fifth type is type E reactions, isn't it? Right. Now what does E stand for? Any guess you want to make? So this is the fifth type, what is called as type E. So E stands for end of dose. So now, again the name is very self-explanatory. These adverse drug reactions occur at the end of the dose, or when the dose or the drug is withdrawn or stopped abruptly. So appears, these are adverse drug reactions which appear after dose is stopped, after drug is stopped abruptly. So classical examples of this type of adverse drug reaction, say for example opioid withdrawal reactions. Another classical example, rebound hypertension caused due to in a hypertensive patient who is taking beta blocker for a long time, and when he stops suddenly, when it happens. So beta blocker is stopped suddenly, the rebound hypertension causing is like. Now what to do, or what should a practitioner do to prevent these adverse drug reactions? Now the first thing is that whenever a patient is taking a drug which is bound to cause this type of reactions, so taper the drug. So that's the first dictum which should be followed whenever any drug is taken for a long time. The second thing which should be considered, for type A we saw that we have to consider concomitant effect of drugs which can cause these adverse drug reactions. Now here, say for example, we have to consider concomitant drugs which have antagonistic effect. Say for example, in a patient who is taking an opioid, a full agonist of opioid, if he is also co-prescribed antagonist or a partial agonist in together with the full agonist, in presence of full agonist, can act as antagonist. So that should also be considered. So concomitant drugs which have antagonistic activity should also be considered when these people develop these, so to prevent these type of adverse drug reactions. So that's about type E. The last type is the type F, isn't it, right? Now, what does F stand for? F stands for, so this is the sixth type, type F reaction. F stands for failure of therapy. Now, ineffectiveness of a drug can also sometimes lead to failure of or lead to adverse effect. A very classical example of this type F reaction is pregnancy due to failure of contraception, failure of oral contraceptive pills. This is a very classical example of how ineffectiveness of a drug can lead to an adverse drug reaction. Here, pregnancy which is unwanted. Now, what should a practitioner or a clinician do to avoid these type F type of reactions is that now, so we have to, whenever more than 2 drugs are taken, we have to think about whether is there a drug interaction happening which can lead to the ineffectiveness. So whenever more than 2 drugs are taken, so always check for whether is there a potential interaction which can reduce the effectiveness of these drugs. So pregnancy failure, say for example, a person who is taking oral contraceptive is also prescribed broad spectrum antibiotic like amoxicillin, can interfere with the enterohepatic cycling of estrogen, decreases the estrogen content on the estrogen level in the blood, causes for failure of pregnancy and ineffectiveness. So by this way they can reduce or prevent these type F adverse drug reactions. Right. So now to summarize, the WHO has defined adverse drug reaction is a response to drug therapy which is noxious and unintended and occurs at the dose used in humans for therapy or prophylaxis or diagnostic. There are 6 types, type A, B, C, D, E, F. A for augmented, B for bizarre, C for chronic, D for delayed, E for end of dose, and F for failure of therapy. We saw each examples and what should a physician do when he encounters these type of reactions. So that's all. Thank you very much. If you have doubts, please get back.